Hello students and welcome back. I am Professor Caster and thank you for returning for one of our short courses that breaks down the larger courses into more bite-sized chunks so they're a little bit more accessible instead of trying to go through the war of an entire section. Also, I do apologize if the quality of the sound is a little off from how the intro and outro sound. Those were actually recorded before this setup actually got created, so it should be a little bit quieter, but other than that, it should be alright. Alrighty class, before we move on to the reading about the next Warcaster, I need to take a little side project. Alright, so these particular scripts I'm about to read, I don't want to say they're incorrect or untrue, but they're created by prophetic writings of a hermit in the location of Hingehold. These writings talk of dark things in the outer arcane, and those monstrosities coming in the future to collect our souls as payment for some dark dealings our ancestors made millennia ago, giving them magic. Not sure how much of this is true or not. He was said to be a madman, but somehow these writings are still in the archives, so we're going to read them. Outside of these, he speaks of certain people who changed in the aftermath of these events, if it takes place, including our dear, hatred-filled friend Karchev. We will be coming back to the Hermit of Hingehold's writing a lot, and I'll let you know when the characters in question is in this so-called future. Also, for game, these characters can be played in both Warmachines and their actual game, Riot Quest. Riot Quest is the story of what if Imoran was ravaged by the Infernals and lost, and what people are doing to survive. A lot of very interesting characters and solos have a lot of different variations outside of their norm. So, of course, we will be going over all that because this is, of course, a lore podcast. All right, let's talk about what happened to Karchev. Karchev and Deathjack Malignant Fusion. As the world ended at Hingehold, the Grey Lord Karchev the Terrible fell in battle. The Warjack chassis carrying his withered mortal remains was shredded, leaving him to crawl along using his sole-functioning mechanolimb. Yet Karchev was too stubborn to die, as usual. He made a dangerous decision how to survive. In the battle wreckage nearby, Karchev found the remains of the Deathjack, a nightmare helljack of legend. Karchev knew these creatures drew much of its power from the enormous skulls of hate fused to it, which were said to be regenerate its whole. Thus Karchev tore the skulls from the ruined Deathjack and clamped them onto his own metal frame. The fusion of the two created a mechanical horror. Karchev's mind constantly pitted against the Deathjack's horrific intent to control their shared body. Karchev has control, but only for now. The unholy terror they've become cares not for a loot or gear, fortune or glory. It only exists to destroy. Well, as we discussed before, Karchev is not an easy guy to kill even when he's on his dying breath. Alright, reading his additional details. Apparently, he has the ability to make his warjacks even more deadly than they already are, making Khador jacks, which are usually incredibly slow. It almost doubles their base speed, which is phenomenal. He also has a whole list of spells in his repertoire that give everybody some crazy heavy arm, which, of course, Khador jacks, that would make them almost impenetrable, as well as increasing his ability to focus on spells and being able to run many more warjacks than he did previously, which is saying something because Karchev has always been a very heavy warjack caster. Alright, well, let's move on from that disturbing look at Karchev's potential future. Alrighty, students, well, that does it for this short course. And as always, thank you, Privateer Press, for letting us read your fantastic lore. And as always, your homework is going to be, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know how I'm doing, and share it with your friends and fellow gamers alike so we can increase the class size. And as always, class dismissed.